in this video we're going to see if we can get off to a good start in the new Manufacturer Series season. Hey guys, and welcome along to another video. If this is your first time here and you like watching all sorts of GT Sport related stuff, subscribe now and click the little bell icon so you get notified of every video I upload and you don't miss a thing. Today's video is the next video in our quest to be the best series. This series follows my journey of trying to book my ticket at the 2019 Gran Turismo World Tour. So make sure you stay tuned to the very end of the video to see how we get on and see whether we move any closer to that goal. So, intro over, let's get into it. Today we're starting season number 3 of the Exhibition Manufacturers Series. We're here at Bathurst and we've managed to qualify okay. We've got a 5th place qualification here as we go through the top 5 on the grid. It was a bit of a shame really, as I felt I timed it up quite well, but we got held up by a little bit of traffic on the final lap, so I felt I got more time in me. In fact, let's go back and have a look at it. So here we are back in the qualifying session that preceded this race. I've been trying to think more strategically about how I do the qualifying. Basically, I always find that the 10 minutes goes so quickly and I don't get the most out of it. So I've managed to time out really well, passing the line here for another lap with just under 10 seconds remaining, and we were actually 1.122 seconds up going through the second sector here. You'll be able to see it as we come over here now. So I was confident I was going to be able to get pole, but it wasn't to be as we run into some traffic, as you can see here, coming back down the hill. So that was the story of qualifying. So as the race starts here, we're in 5th place. We've got 8 laps around Bathurst in Group 3. I am in the Aston, but there is a good mix of cars as you can see around us. We've got a Mustang, a 911, there's a Beamer behind us as well. This is a really good thing about the Manufacturer Series. There's going to be such a variety all the time, and different cars have different strengths at different tracks, which is really good. I think it brings a really good amount of variety to the game, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So coming into the second corner here, you can see the Mustang going to go wide here. He's going to get on the power too early and end up in the wall there. So I'm going to sit right behind this 911 so that we're going to follow him, and yep, it's a Lambo up ahead through. So we're now up into 4th place, coming up the hill here, trying to stay out of the wall so it doesn't slow us down. I'm not too worried about damage anymore actually, because they have moved it from heavy to light for this championship. Now let me know in the comment section down below what you think about that change. Do you prefer heavy or do you prefer light damage? For me, I must say I do prefer heavy damage. Now the reason I do that is because it's going to allow people to get away with more, to be quite honest with you. People are more careful when there's full damage on in terms of pushing around the track, and also when they try and make moves. So people, when there's full damage on, know the consequences if they get it wrong for both parties, but mainly themselves. So they tend to only make moves when it is on. So I'm concerned that moving to light damage will encourage those sorts of moves again. However, there probably may be one positive to it, that if you do get hit by one of these people who does a more ambitious move on you, you only have limited damage, so you only have to grin and bear it for a few seconds and then you'll be back in the game. So there's arguments for it on both sides, but my preference is to keep it at heavy. But as I say, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. I really want to hear what everyone thinks about this move. So we're coming into lap number 2 now. We're coming down the big long straight at the start of the lap. We've got that really quick Mustang that I'm aware is in my tow, so we're going to go to the inside here We're going to make him go around the outside into turn number 3, which is going to be really, really difficult. And I know he's not going to want to go wide there, because he went there on lap number 1 and ended up in that barrier, or the concrete, I suppose it is, on the right. So we've managed to defend that move. So as long as I don't run too wide here, we should be safe for the rest of this big, long technical section. And hopefully I can put a bit of a gap between him and us in time for the back straight, because those are the two main areas really that we are going to be vulnerable to the speed of that Ford behind. I'm not too worried during this bit, but when we come down the back straights I need to make sure I get a really good exit out of those corners that lead onto those straights, otherwise we're going to be a sitting duck. But keep an eye on the rear view here. He's going to make an identical mistake there. He's going to get on the loud pedal too early, something that I know all too well about, and he is going to drop further back. So we live to fight another day on that one, so we can concentrate on trying to keep hold of second and third that you can see up ahead. And we're going to jump ahead to the next lap here. We're just coming out of Forest Elbow down one of these long straights. This is the Conrod straight here, and as you can see in the rear view that the Mustang is back. Now watch how much that grunt of that Mustang, even though we're in quite a quick car ourselves with the Aston, watch how much it pulls on us coming all the way down this straight towards the chase. So we take different approaches into the chase. I brake a little bit earlier so I can take a tighter first entry here and then get on the power earlier than him. As you can see, we're pulling away slightly, and interestingly, two people dive into the pits there. They're both on mediums, which is quite encouraging, because if those mediums have only lasted to the end of lap number 3, they're going to have to do 5 full laps. They're not even half distance yet, so that could be really, really good for us, as towards the end of the race here we are going to come into play, because they are going to be really, really struggling on those tyres. Us ourselves, we're going to be coming in at the end of this lap. So really the battle for the lead right now, as we go defensive again to keep that Mustang behind us, is between myself, the Mustang, and the German up in front. I can't quite see what car he's in. I think he's in a dark 911 there. Yep, he is. So we just need to have a good in lap here, and we could be on for a fight for another victory, which would be really, really good. Something I really need, because at the moment things aren't going fantastically. But to be honest, this channel is real. These things happen. I don't cherry pick what I show you. If I have a good race, you see it, and if my driver rating's going up, you see it, and exactly the same if I'm not having a good time and the driver rating is going back down. So unless you're in the very, very top percentile of players on this game, you're going to have ups and downs. And me at the moment, I'm just having a down. And that is one of the reasons why. So it's just those little mistakes that I make. In that instance, I was too worried about getting a good in-lap that I just got on the loud pedal too much coming out of Forest Elbow, and I ended up into the barrier, which may well cost us the chance of a win here. Really disappointing, but again, I'm not perfect yet, by any means. I'm far from it. But we're working on it, and with the hard work that we're going to be putting in, I'm sure we will see good things happening again very shortly. So coming through into the pits here, thankfully I don't mess up the pit lane entries. We've got some new boots on, and we're going to have a group of 3 cars, I think all of them have penalties, who we are going to have to try and get past to get that 5th place, which I think is going to have to be the aim for us now. 5th place, get back to where we started, and just escape from the mountain. Coming down into Forest Elbow here for the 5th time, you can see it's all kicking off up in front, and we're going to get a run here on the Hyundai. We're going to have to get out of the throttle here, which is a shame, which is going to lose us all our momentum. But he's in the slipstream of the Mitsubishi up in front. He's going to pull out, and we're just going to have absolutely nowhere to go. They're like a rolling roadblock at the moment. The Mitsubishi is going to go to the inside, so I go down the outside. He's going to hold the inside. There's almost contact. I go as wide as I can to avoid it. Maybe a little bit too wide, so I run into the grass and lose a bit of time there. And frustratingly, that was his in-lap. So I think by him fighting that, he kind of cost us both a bit of time there. He had every right to, but it probably would have been quicker for us both if he'd just let us go there. So starting lap number 6, we've got to get after the Spaniard up in front. Let's see if we can do it. So we got our head down and actually put our fastest lap of the race in. As you can see, they're 7/10 up on our previous best, which is good for us, and we are now well within the slipstream of the Spaniard up in front. We know we've got the speed on his car anyway, so that added with the slipstream is going to bring us right up to his bumper, putting in a purple sector there, coming down into turn number 2. So I'm not sure if he's struggling with his tyres or something along those lines, because he is, as you can see, braking in somewhat strange places, and the back end seems to be all over the place. So we're catching right up behind him now. Let's just try and stay behind him and put some pressure on him coming through this technical part of the track here. He's going to run wide and then just hit the wall in a big way, which is going to give us the opportunity to dive up the inside here. Coming over Skyline, I'm hoping there's going to be no contact coming down into the S's. Getting close, but there isn't none, which is good. Good driving by him there. And we've managed to hold on to, I think, if we can get a good run out of Forest Elbow here, 6th place. Yep, the guy behind us hit the wall. You probably heard that thud there. So he's going to have lost all momentum coming down the back straight here, the Commonwealth straight down towards the chase. And as you can see, we're going to have almost a second on him by the time we get down there. But our attention is going to turn now to that yellow Lamborghini up in front. If you remember him, he was the guy who came in on lap number 3, so he's got 3 seconds on us at the moment. Let's see how many of those seconds we can take out of him on the final lap, because as you can see there, it's starting to come down. So we're going to stay on board for this, the final lap, and we're going to see if we can hunt down that 5th place to break even for the race. So coming out of Hell's Corner here, that time is continuing to drop now, around 2.5 seconds as we come down the mountain straight into Griffin's Bend. Another purple sector for us, which is good. 2.4 seconds now, but I think we'll be taking a lot of time out of him. Well, I hope we'll be taking a lot of time out of him through this technical section going up the hill, because that's when he's going to need his traction the most. We've got a good run there out of the cutting, staying away from the walls. So we're now almost only 2 seconds behind him. This one could be quite close. We take a bit too much curb there, but that's fine as we come around this corner towards the skyline. This is another place where he's really going to suffer. There we go, look, you can see we're just dipping to within 2 seconds of him now. And I think we're just going to be outside of the slipstream, but look how close we get to him here. 1.2, 1.1 seconds now. And then the extra grunt of the Aston is going to get us even closer to him. Not by much, but we're going to have just the opportunity coming into the chase here, which is another corner where you need loads and loads of grip. We're going to pick our braking point just before that 150 mark. He's going to go wide there. He's onto the dirt. So we're going to get a run on him by the looks. Is he going to stay up the inside? Yes, he's going to stay up the inside there, so we have to try and go round the outside into Murray's Corner. So he's going to hold on to 5th, and we're going to come home to take a 6th place. So fair play to the guy in front for holding on to that with those medium tyres, and we continue to hover around the 40,000 driver rating mark. But for now guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.